The New Orleans Pelicans just fought for their lives and took the #1 seeded Phoenix Suns to 6 games while the star of their franchise dunked during warmups, then watched during the games. But in what I will say is a pretty shocking turn of events, Zion is now saying he's staying, as when asked if he'd sign the extension he is eligible for this summer if the team offered him one, Zion said, "Of course, I couldn't sign it fast enough," which means we might have an end to the Zion Williamson drama this summer. I understand with all the Zion drama, we just had one of the biggest mysteries in the NBA, but if Zion sticks true to his word here, well, I mean, come on, this is Zion Williamson. Because in case you forgot, to say there has been some confusion about this would be quite the understatement. To simply write off Zion Williamson right now as overweight and to forget how insanely talented he showed he is during his time in the NBA would be a Zion-sized mistake. So what's up, guys? Mike here, and if we take a look throughout the entirety of NBA history, we find some great evidence that if the Pelicans did have Zion Williamson for the playoffs this year, if he did come back for the series against the Phoenix Suns, they very well might have advanced to round 2. Because Zion is not just a normal #1 pick here, he was, as a young player, historically dominant. Throughout the history of time, 7 players have played at least 50 games in their first 2 seasons and have finished with at least 27 points per 36 minutes in those 2 seasons combined. Every player on this list is a Hall of Famer except for 6-time All-Star Walter Davis and Zion. Even more interesting, if we up this scoring number to 29 points per game, we're left with only 2 names, Wilt Chamberlain and, of course, Zion Williamson. But I understand, whenever I bring up stats like this, I always see the comments. Maybe you think this is a little bit of a deep dive. That's fine. Let's reverse things a bit back. Let's get rid of the per 36. Let's just go with points per game. Because in NBA history, wouldn't you know it, there are only 14 players who have averaged at least 25 points per game in their first 2 seasons. Zion is a part of that list as well. And here is where things get very, very important. Because Zion is not only a part of this list, but also he is, in terms of offensive efficiency, or at least in terms of true shooting percentage, in terms of putting the ball in the basket, we see going up this same list of 14 players, there goes Wilt Chamberlain, then Oscar Robertson, then Kareem, Michael Jordan, Shaq, David Robinson, and would you look at that, all the way at the top with a 64% true shooting percentage in his first 2 seasons is that man Zion Williamson. These numbers are something we cannot just sweep under the rug. Zion, when he is on the court, is insanely impactful. The numbers certainly show that. But beyond that, this roster is awesome. If Zion was out there this season, they're easily in the playoffs, not the play-in game. If he's playing against the Suns, why can't they win without Book out there early in the series? The Pels now have a very solid core. Brandon Ingram is a legitimate second star for Zion to grow with. CJ McCollum is a veteran leader and put up about 25 points per game for the Pelicans. Herb Jones might be the best young defensive player in the entire NBA. Jackson Hayes has shown some serious promise. Jonas Valanciunas put up career numbers this year. Alvarado just proved to be a pest. I mean, come on, Zion. It's not like anyone's asking you to go out there and play with scrubs. This is a solid team. This is a solid franchise. I really hope that Zion is not pulling something here. I really hope that the city of New Orleans gets what they deserve at this point. A winning basketball franchise. And if Zion does leave, please, hopefully New Orleans gets equal value for him. The thing is though, who cares if you're historically dominant if you refuse to play for the team that drafted you? But before we continue, guys, I am very excited to say that this video is brought to you by SeatGeek. And as you may know, I have worked with SeatGeek for a long time, and I am so happy to finally be working with them again. Because guys, live events are finally back. We can finally go watch the NBA in person. I can go finally watch St. John's lose in person. Whether it's a sport, team, concert, or artist, you name it, our friends at SeatGeek have all of the tickets and have you covered. And the way they do it is also designed to make buying simple for you while also getting you the best deal possible. SeatGeek puts tickets from all over the web to make buying simple. SeatGeek also rates tickets on a scale of 0 to 10 so you can make sure you are getting a great deal. Green means good here, red means bad here, and personally, guys, I love this feature. I use it all the time myself. I mean, who doesn't want the best deal? And SeatGeek has that, and I have the best deal for you. Because right now, if you use the promo code 2KMike on your first order on SeatGeek, you are going to get $20 off of your tickets. Yes, that is $20 off of your tickets with the promo code 2KMike Mike on your first purchase. The link to download SeatGeek and the link for my promo code are both going to be in the description right down below. Go download SeatGeek and use my promo code 2KMike to get $20 off your first purchase. Again, guys, personally, I do use SeatGeek all the time. I love them. Now back to the video. With all that said, on this channel, we do play both sides. And while I am very hyped for the Pelicans, while I am very hyped for Zion, we do have to take into account the fact that this entire season, we did not really know somehow what Zion was going to do. Somehow, we never got a straight answer. Now we're finally getting one, and I do hope that Zion sticks to his word. But if somehow crazily he does not, I want to dive into just how serious this situation really could have or could still become. Because if a number one pick were to really do this, if he were to refuse to play for the city that drafted him, well, that would cause some issues. Now, in an NBA world that values rings, I am certainly all for player movement. I am certainly all for a player taking his career into his own hands after a certain point, and I will get into why. Now, this season, it has been no secret that nobody really fully knows what is going on with Zion Williamson. He shows up to training camp over 300 pounds. He suffered an injury in the offseason we weren't even told about at the time. He was shipped off to Oregon or Oregon, however you say that state. He disappeared there for a few months, and now he's dunking like this in the layup line before huge playoff games that his team would benefit greatly from him playing in. And instead of playing, there's Zion watching from the sidelines. And at this point in time, I just do not believe in any way that Zion is sitting there telling the Pelicans he wants to play. There's just no way. By allowing Zion to just step foot on an NBA basketball court during the playoffs, the Pelicans could end this insanely severe drama. No NBA franchise wants this crazy black cloud hovering over their team. Zion casually is doing 360 through the legs while doing a backflip over a Kia dunks that continue to go viral, but he isn't cleared to play. Come on now. I may have been born at night, but you know, I wasn't born last night. Bruh. The thing is though, this is a much bigger deal than people are making it out to be. The NBA's collective bargaining agreement between the players and the owners is going to end soon. And when it does, if Zion forces out, I think we're going to see a massive problem. The reason for this is that we already have a first problem, and that is being caused by Ben Simmons. Let me explain. In front of you is a chart of every single number one pick of the last 20 seasons, and they all share one common theme. If their team wanted to keep them around, aka if they weren't traded away or were just a bust, each number one pick stayed with their team for at least 7 seasons with just 2 exceptions. Kyrie Irving, who played 6 seasons and then asked out, but to Kyrie, what even are rules? What even is basketball? The other exception is, wouldn't you know it, Ben Simmons, who due to injury only played 4 seasons with the Sixers before very quietly letting it known that he also wanted out. So what is the big deal here? Well, first of all, let's make another list very quickly. One of players who sign long-term max deals with their teams, then demand out before a single game is played on that contract. Oh, look, it's only Ben Simmons? Weird. That already, from a CBA standpoint, is a horrible look. Think about this from an owner's perspective. First of all, congrats, you're now a billionaire. Second of all, that long-term contract that is supposed to lock players into their teams, the team that you own, well, that long-term max contract is getting spit on. Ben didn't play a single minute on that contract. Owners are furious with Ben. They think he cheated the system, which brings us back to Zion. And the problem that Zion can cause, the horrible problem he can cause that will demand a solution is this. I mean, it's simple, right? In order to keep competitive balance in the NBA, teams need to at least have a chance to win with their top overall picks. Be it pick number 1, pick number 5, pick number 10, we have seen the impact that these picks can have. I mentioned pick number 1, 5, and 10 because we saw Steph Curry go at number 7, and he lifted up that Golden State Warriors organization in a giant way. But in terms of number 1 picks, let's look at some of the names listed. Starting at the bottom here, we see LeBron eventually won a title with Cleveland, and both times he was there, he created an insanely beneficial impact on the city of Cleveland economically. Dwight Howard brought the Orlando Magic to the NBA Finals. Derrick Rose put Chicago back on the map again after Michael Jordan. Blake Griffin was huge in making the Clippers relevant in general. These number 1 picks don't only make teams better, they can literally turn around franchises in the biggest way possible. Oh, and by the way, guys, if you are still here, it would be awesome if you could subscribe and turn on post notifications congratulations. We are on the road to 2 million subscribers here. So if you like the content, please hit subscribe, turn on post notifications. It would be awesome to have you join in on this journey. For now, let's get back to the video. So for a player to potentially just refuse to play for the team that drafts him, if Zion really just doesn't like New Orleans and is just demanding out behind the scenes, well, where do we go from here? The Pelicans need to be able to draft a #1 pick that at least gives them something. We can't have #1 picks sitting out entire third seasons and then demanding to go to big markets. That is just not a long-term situation that I think most of us want to be a part of. Most of us are not fans of the biggest teams. I mean, sure, there are Lakers fans, sure, there are Heat fans, but even Knicks fans that are attached to this, they haven't gotten a huge free agent since Amari Stoudemire, Julius Randle. I mean, Carmelo Anthony was a trade. So overall, I think we can all agree. We want to keep competitive balance alive. And if Zion, the #1 pick, a potential generational talent, demands out, if he accepts that qualifying offer after year 4, that is essentially a player option that allows him to become an unrestricted free agent after year 5, well then, it's gonna get insane. So there we have it, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you're new to the channel, please remember to subscribe and turn on post notifications. We're in the middle of the NBA playoffs. We are making video after video, and we're also on the grind to 2 million subscribers. It would be awesome if you could subscribe and turn on post notifications to join us on the ride there. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much for supporting. You're awesome. We all know it. And as always, have an awesome day, guys, and cue that music. If you're still here while the music is cued, here are 2 videos I think you are definitely going to enjoy. I mean, personally, I think the one on the left might be more your style, but the one on the right looks pretty awesome too. Click one, let me know what you think. And again, have an awesome day.